Welcome to another video, boys. Today we'll do a top 5 for the new meta in the Darkmoon Faire. Again, I'm gonna try to do the video with zero script, so it's gonna sound a lot more natural, but I might miss out on some details. Let me know if you prefer it like this or not. I'm really trying to do it better for you and not so much for me. Sure, for me it's a lot easier to make it without a script. Like, those things usually take me 2 hours or something to do. And I really try to Google stuff and go into detail, but now I'm just gonna go off the dome on the decks I already handpicked from HS Replay Premium, so it's still gonna be pretty useful. But let me know if the benefit of me not sounding like a complete retarded robot is better, or do you prefer more detail and whatnot. It's totally up to you. Again, I'm gonna do my best to give you an overview for each deck. I did check out what the win rates for each of them are as well, so I'm gonna give you that information so you have a better grasp on what you can expect from each of those. I will try my best to give you information on mulligan guides for each of those, and I will tell you if I think they're worth the craft this early in the new meta, or you should be probably waiting. We'll see how that goes. And also, I will check out what are the other good decks for the 5 classes I will feature today. And at the end of the video, I will give you information on other good decks that are doing all right. Not as amazing, but still all right. Some 55+% win rates ain't nothing to frown upon if it's your favorite class especially. So yeah, hold tight. We're gonna cover those as well and see how it goes. Drop a like if you enjoyed the video, as always. We are trying to reach 10,000 subscribers. Pretty close, pretty close. I am hoping to reach it before the end of the year, but with the rates we're going, it's probably gonna be more like 9. Still pretty awesome. Very appreciated. But yeah, 10,000 will be freaking awesome. Thanks again for watching, and now let's get into the first deck. I already made a guide about the first deck. It is, again, Soul Demon Hunter. I think it's doing still pretty amazing, still worth crafting. It is not that expensive of a deck. I did feature my version on the last guide, but I do believe there's a better version, and it's this one. I was expecting that Mechtarodon is gonna be worth including because of all of the Fury crafted big decks out there, but no, the meta seems to be mid-range to fast so far, so I think Mechtarodon is not worth including. I did sleep on the great cards Relentless Pursuit, which I really think it's worth. And I did tell you that I'm keeping my eye on Wand Maker, and yeah, it turns out a deck without Wand Maker is performing better right now, even though you could get a few not so bad cards. Getting another Twin Slice from it amazing, getting a Silence could be amazing against Paladins, for instance. Also, Philosophy is not bad at all nowadays with Bladed Lady being a demon. By the way, what is up with that? Bladed Lady looks literally exactly like a Lapidary and literally all of the other non-demon cards. Like, what is up with that? Ilgnot is not a demon. What is up with that? I don't know. Like, it is so weird. It is so weird how they're tribing the demon and non-demon cards for Soul Demon Hunter. I get it. They can't all be demons. I mean, they're demon hunters. But I don't know, man. Visually speaking, I can't tell the difference. Is that racist? I hope that's not racist. Anyway, this is the version I used to reach top 126 last night, and we also did a coaching session. Hit me up if you want to do some coaching session to Legend. I can definitely hook you up. It took us only 2 hours to reach from rank 3 to Legend with this deck, with 10 wins and only 2 losses. Pretty cool games we had there. RNG was not bad for us, so yeah, when the RNG is not bad, amazing results can occur for sure. So hit me up on my socials, Discord, Facebook, heck, even Twitter. I'm probably gonna check that at some point, and we can arrange a session. You can hire me and we can do some Legend climbing. Now, for the win rates. Okay, Soul Demon Hunter's win rates. Keep in mind that I do believe these stats are skewed by the old school Soul Demon Hunter. HS Replay tends to use similar decks for a better visualization population of the game, so I'm not completely sure this is exactly the new list's win rate. If it is, fucking amazing. If it's not, still, it's fine. What you can see here, the most noticeable things would be Druid is not going to be super good for you, with Clown Druid at the top. and Big Druid at the top. Good thing is that they are not very popular right now, so you should have a fine time climbing. Pure Paladin is still a problem. If you see too many of those, you could find room for a second Silence again, maybe. That's gonna work wonders for you. Big Priest is another thing you should be afraid of. And I did see that there is some Priest deck in High Legend that is farming Soul Demon Hunters as well, but other than that, everything else is bright green. So yeah, it should be pretty fine for you. For the mulligan guide, you can just check out my guide from the last video I did for Soul Demon Hunter. It's pretty accurate. When you're going first, you want to keep a Spirit Jailer, Pantra. If you're not against a fast deck, Marrow Slicer. If you are against a faster deck, Mystic would be pretty good for you, even when you're going first. Soul Shear is basically almost always a keep, unless, I don't know, if you have a Spirit Jailer and Marrow Slicer you want to keep or something like that. But even then, Soul Shear should be a consideration. It always turns out to be not a bad card for you to have, so you can make a good clear. If you're going second, you're a lot more free to be keeping expensive cards like Skull Gul'dan, Marrow Slicer, and yeah, of course, Spirit Jailer, Mana Feeder, Pantra is again a keep. Mystic is almost always a keep when you're going second, even against classes that don't tend to develop the board too much. Even in the mirror matchup, when you're going second, you could consider keeping Mystic, especially now with Aggro Demon Hunter a lot more popular. Soul Shear again is a very good keep. And if you're against a fast deck, you should always consider keeping Eldrazi Warblades, because it's gonna be the difference between winning and losing. Even against Soul Demon Hunter mirrors, you should be keeping Eldrazi Warblade always, because it comes down to who gets the more value out of Eldrazi Warblade most of the time. Okay, is it worth crafting the deck right now? I do believe it is. There are versions of it that are not too expensive, but even the expensive version with Kain and Ilgnat, I do believe those two legendaries are super worth for Demon Hunters, so ain't nothing wrong with crafting them. There is a version running without Militia, so you could try cutting Militia out if you really don't want to craft her. But other than that, the deck is super worth. I do believe it might get hit by a nerf, but it could go under the radar again. It's totally up to Blizzard. I mean, they decide these things. It's not like if we're bitching about it enough, they're gonna nerf it. So we've tried that. It doesn't work most of the time. Anyway, other good Demon Hunter decks out there right now would be, of course, Aggro Demon Hunter. Pretty fast Aggro Demon Hunters out there right now, with the most expensive card being Kain. Some do include Adept. Also, there is somewhat of an OTK Demon Hunter going around with Ilgnat, but I'm not sure that one is doing as amazing. It's still super fun OTKing people from seemingly full health. Right now, Aggro Demon Hunter is very good, if not better than Soul Demon Hunter. But yeah, Soul Demon Hunter is definitely keeping its own. Both decks are tier 1 right now, so it's your choice which one you prefer. I do prefer Soul Demon Hunter. It takes... back when I started playing Soul Demon Hunter, I said it doesn't take skill to play, but nah, man, that deck takes a lot of skill to master. It takes a lot of skill to really figure out the optimal plays you can be making with it. And a lot of the times, those decisions are actually gonna matter. So yeah, Soul Demon Hunter is how I would be going, but Aggro Demon Hunter is just as good. Okay, moving to the next deck, Pure Paladin. Another deck I did a day one basically guide about. A pretty optimal version, I think, is performing maybe the best right now. I think I pretty much nailed the perfect Pure Libram Paladin right now, if you're not going for the dude version, which is having a lower win rate so far, by the way. So yeah, Pure Libram Paladin without the dude package seems to be doing best so far, stat-wise, according to the HS Premium stats for the last 3 days in Legend, Diamond Legend. I already made a guide about it, no need to go into detail. The only new cards I included are Irel and the Hammer of Naru. I think the Hammer is pretty good value for its cost. I mean, it's basically a 5-drop with a 4-drop weapon attached to it for 6 mana, so definitely worth in a Pure Pally. It is not essential. I mean, right now, the old list with literally 0 new cards is having about 60% win rate from Diamond to Legend, so yeah, boys. Literally no need to craft anything and you're still gonna have a pretty good list on your hands, so go for it. If you're low on dust, go for it. Libram Pally, if you had it the last season, definitely worth it. Not much else to talk about, really. I mean, I explained everything I needed to explain in the guide, so make sure to check that one out. Now we can see the win rates for it though, because that is something I didn't include because it was still super early. But yeah, the win rates are as follows. Everything's green except for Secret Rogue, which I have not met for the, I don't know, 40 games I've done in the new expansion so far. And Aggro Demon Hunter can also be a 50-50 for you, but it's pretty close. It's a pretty close game. You can definitely take it, especially if you're skilled with the deck. If you manage to anticipate what you should be expecting, if you manage to trade enough and stabilize the game, it should be a favorable matchup for you, honestly. Yeah, anything else is fine, not much else to say. For the mulligan, again, check out the guides. I don't know how many times I should repeat that for someone to check the goddamn guide. But yeah, if you're going first, always Elder Attendant, always first day of school. Goody 2 shields most of the time if you already have an Eldora first day, or even if you don't have anything first, Goody 2 shields is just super good. Murger is always going to be a keep when you're going first. Also, Libram of Wisdom, I think, is always a keep. And if you already have a 1-drop or even a 2-drop, Hand of a Doll is a very good keep in that case. Other than that, anything above 5 mana, I would rarely keep. Probably never keep when I'm going first. Also, high Abyss Allura could be worth keeping sometimes, but again, I would prefer if we're going second. If we're going second, Lightforged Zealot is a lot more keepable. Allura is almost always a keep when you're going second. And if you're curving well, you can even keep a Aldor Truthseeker when you're going second, but you really need to have something going for you before that, like a first day of school and a Goody 2 shields, for instance, something along those lines at least. Because in the end of the day, it's a 5-drop. Sure, you can point it on turn 4, but still, you need to be doing something before that, because if you don't, you're gonna be too far behind sometimes. Consider when you should be keeping Barroth or Consecration as well. If you're expecting a Totem Shaman, for instance, a Face Hunter, for instance, Barroth could save your life. Just tempoing it out on turn 3, clearing his current board and stopping him from developing further, something along those lines can definitely save you from time to time. But yeah. Is it worth the craft? Again, quite expensive, about 10k to craft it optimally, but yeah, I do think it is a deck that should remain strong in the new meta. I do expect a nerf that might come to it, but it's up to you. If you want to enjoy it while you still can, it's worth. You're gonna climb with it. You can even hit legend with it, obviously. But if you're low on dust, you might consider staying away if you're missing too many cards, because if they nerf it, it's not gonna be a legendary nerf, it's gonna be a rare card nerf. Like, I don't even know at this point what they can nerf, like maybe Aldor Truthseeker to 6-man or something along those lines. That is a card that can definitely feel bad getting nerfed. Libram of Hope, maybe up to 10-man or something along those lines. But I'm just spitballing here. They might ignore it again. I mean, I was almost certain they're gonna nerf it last expansion and they didn't, so there's that. Other good Paladin index you can check out. Penflinger Paladin is still doing fine with minor adjustments, and there is this new Silverhand Libram Paladin, Pure Paladin, that is also doing quite alright. But yeah, so far the pure version is doing best. The one I'm showing you, basically, mostly. I did explain that you can swap out Barra for a cheaper Consecration, and you also can swap out Murger if you don't have him for a Shotbot or something else. But all in all, this is the lines of Pure Paladin that you can be taking. There's some other versions out there that are doing actually quite alright, but these would be the top 3. Pen, Pure, and Silverhand Pure. Okay, moving down to Hunter with Highlander, Face Hunter. Getting hot in here, so let's get rid of this. Highlander, Face Hunter. Like I said in previous videos of mine, I did expect Highlander, Face Hunter to remain strong. Face Hunter is always good in the early days, and Highlander Hunter is always finding room in the meta, no matter what. So yeah, while we still have Zephyrs and Bran literally till April, this should be an okay craft for you, those 2 cards, which in turn makes the rest of it sound a lot more cheaper. This version is running a lot more secrets. It is utilizing the new cool Open the Cages, which I really like the concept of. You do have some random secret synergy with Mystery Winner, which I really think is cool. Makes the deck a lot more flexible, because after 2 games, you literally know exactly what secrets you should be expecting from Highlander Hunter, and with this thrown in there, you can definitely take some opponents by surprise. Playing a second Freezing Trap or something along those lines, it could be game-breaking for sure. You have the new Wriggling Horror, which is pretty interesting. And you do have the new Inconspicuous Rider, which is also pretty cool, like basically a second easier to play Face Stalker, pretty cool. And the synergy with Petting Zoo is pretty amazing as well. You have the Riddling Rifle as well, which also throws in some rando secrets, so it's definitely a cool deck. You can definitely hit Legend with it, because people below Legend have a hard time playing around secrets. In Legend, it's probably not gonna be as effective, but still, with so many random secret generations, it's gonna be super hard to actually play skillfully around everything. So keep that in mind. Other than that, it looks pretty standard from the last expansion. You do have most of the stars for this deck. It's a Highlander deck, so you can fit a lot of cool cards into it, and you do. Moving down to the matchups for it. So far, again, I'm not sure if these are pure stats or they're mixed in with the stats from last expansion. Probably more pure this time, because a lot of new cards in this one. But yeah, Aggro Demon Hunter is not going to be amazing for you, but nothing to frown upon. I mean, 47%, that's basically 50-50 if you're skilled enough. Should be fine. And same goes for Pure Paladin. Everything else is green, very green, or just green. But yeah, it should be pretty fine for you if you want to climb with Highlander Hunter. For the mulligan, when you're going first, wow, it actually says you keep Bulkhead and Brand. That doesn't sound right. How you need to be approaching this is you need to be curving out well. You don't want to be keeping too many 1-drops. You want to have a good 1-drop on 1, a good 2-drop on 2, a good 3-on-3 and stuff like that. So don't overkeep just a bunch of good 1-drops because they're playable. I mean, you're gonna run out of cards by turn 3 if you take that route, so try not to get baited into keeping all of the good 1-drops you get. Bulkhead is gonna be a good keep for you, and it really depends. It really depends for you to really be keeping Brand, because turn 7 is a long time away. Not sure if the stats are too accurate for that one. When you're on the coin, Brand becomes a lot more keepable, I think. But the stats show exactly the opposite. That's very weird. Innerpid Initiate is always going to be a good keep when you're going second, because you have the coin to always activate him. The Rifle is always going to be a good keep for you. Imprisoned Felmaw is an amazing keep. And Polkit, of course, he is also going to be a nice way for you to ensure good top decks after turn 6. Don't just try to curve him out if you're not okay with top decking Bran on turn 5. Wait a little if you need to, so you can actually get something playable before that. And Adorable Infestation is also a pretty good keep. Zephyrus sounds pretty good as well. All in all, there are a lot of good keeps for you to be keeping, a lot of micro synergies in the deck, so if you see something good, synergistic in your starting hand, might as well keep it. Have a good game plan in your hand and not just rely on random top decks instead of the micro synergies you already discovered. Try to never keep a secret in your hand, because most of the time it's gonna be a bad idea. There are certain situations where it might not be as bad, but all in all, yeah, avoid secrets because you have a lot of ways to fish them out from your deck. Is it worth the craft? Again, it's not a very cheap deck. It costs almost 10,000 dust, but you probably already have Zephyrus. If you enjoy Hunter, you probably already have Brand. Polkit is a neutral card that is gonna be here for like almost 1.5 years, you know, so Polkit is definitely okay. Dragonbane from Dragons, so no, Dragonbane is leaving soon, so that would be not a great card for you to be crafting right now if you didn't have it already. But other than that, it's not too expensive. It's definitely worth the investment. It's gonna be here for the next several months till April rotation, so yeah, it's up to you. Decide if you enjoy the Highlander Face Hunter style, and you can transition to just the Face Hunter style if you want a more straightforward approach. Other good decks for Hunter right now would be obviously just Face Hunter. There is a Secret Face Hunter with a lot more secret synergies with Hyena and whatnot, which is doing alright. There is some Quest Highlander Hunter going around, which is kinda weird. And there is some Death Rattle Hunter, which is barely above 50% win rate, so I wouldn't advise on that. But yeah, Face Hunter and Highlander Face Hunter are doing the greatest, and Secret Face Hunter is also doing fine. Other than that, the others are a lot lower in productivity. Moving next is going to be Shaman, which surprisingly has 5 working archetypes right now, all of which are in tier 1 or at the top of tier 2, which is freaking disgusting. It is very, very annoying to play against Shaman right now, because you don't know what you're playing against till it's too late. All in all, most of the Shamans right now are aggro, so you should be keeping a game plan towards an aggro setup against you. The list that is doing the best right now would be Evolve Shaman of all. It's doing quite amazingly right now. You can high roll a lot with it, especially if you curve out with your Desert Hairs into your Bog Spine Knuckles and new 1-mana spells that transforms all of your 1/1 hairs into random free drops. That's pretty big. This particular version doesn't run that spell, Revolve, which I'm not too sure if it's okay, but it does seem to be the best performing deck right now, so there's that. I did decide to include Bloodsail Corsair for, I guess, Soul Demon Hunters and Paladins also. It works lovely against them as well. You also have the new Elemental Age Match Custodian, which always is gonna draw your Bog Spine Knuckles, which is nice. So you will be swinging a lot with those. As soon as turn 4, turn 5, you're gonna have a good time with it. And with the new Inara Legendary, you can even go Wind Fury with it. So that's pretty insane. You can double evolve in a single turn, and it can be pretty strong for you. The deck is not too expensive, but it's not too cheap either. 7,000 dust is not too little. You are running Fireheart and Vicina, and also you do have the new legendary Inara, which I already talked about. But yeah, the deck seems to be doing quite alright, especially with the Lightning Bloom. You can do your high rolls a lot earlier, so check it out if you feel like RNG is favoring you, because with Evolve, you can never be too sure what you're evolving into. I can't really count the times I've evolved into a Doomsayer, and that is pretty annoying when you don't want to have a Doomsayer, but that was in my Rogue days experience when I was evolving with lackeys. So you do you. If Shaman's your thing, if evolving is your thing, go for it. It is definitely doing amazingly right now, so far. For the win rates, we don't have that many games, and it's not looking too amazing. As you can see, against the Mirror Evolve Shaman, you're gonna be doing a lot better. I'm assuming that's because you're not running Revolve, which is not gonna be too amazing against the Mirror. And against Control Warrior, you're gonna be doing pretty good, but the other matchups that are populated enough are not too great for you. Pure Paladin being at 47, and both Demon Hunters 45 and 40. Not great at all, since those are kinda popular right now, but the total stats show that you're gonna be doing quite alright, so I think it's not gonna be a bad idea for you to try it, if you have most of the cards especially. For the mulligan, when you're going first, you're gonna be wanting your Surging Tempest, obviously, and your new Cage Match, because you will want to be having your weapon nice and early. You don't really want to be keeping your weapon, especially if you already have the Custodian, because no reason to. Court Pillager can be pretty amazing for you if you already have the Custodian as well. And Desert Hair would be pretty good for you to keep, so you can curve it out into a good evolve. It's very situational. You really have to put your mind what you should be expecting from your opponent, what you should be expecting from you. So yeah, keep an open mind and play accordingly. When you're going second, again, Custodian is MVP. You can even keep just the weapon if you don't have the Custodian, so you can coin it out, start doing those shenanigans early. Consider if you're gonna need your Bloodsail Corsair, depends on the matchup really. I mean, if you're against the Mirror, that is also a good inclusion for you to have a Bloodsail Corsair. And your early game minions are still important. Lightning Bloom can help you start doing your shenanigans a lot earlier, so there's that as well. Is the deck worth the craft? It's really up to you. It's very new, very fresh, not really shown that many results yet, but so far it's doing good. It's gonna come down up to you to decide if it's worth the craft for you or not. It's gonna come down to the particular person. Other good Shaman decks right now. We have Totem Shaman, we have Galakron Shaman, Aggro Shaman, Quest Shaman, Galakron Quest Shaman, and Enhancement Shaman. Plenty of Shamans to choose from, boys. The best performing ones would be Aggro Shaman, Evolve Shaman, Totem Shaman, and Enhancement Shaman. Everything else is below 57% win rate, so there's that, but still, not too bad. Galakron Shaman is just shy from 55%, so It's also not a bad inclusion, so it's really gonna come down to you deciding what kind of Shaman you want to be playing with. And the last deck on the list today is gonna be Control Warrior, a very annoying new list for Control Warrior, very awkward to play against. Control OTK Warrior with the new legendary ETC God. Last night it was the first time I saw what the OTK looks like, and it's actually not too hard to play around it, especially if you're playing Soul Demon Hunter, because if you're not playing a board-centric deck, as soon as you see that they have potential to start doing OTKs against you, you just have to keep your board empty, and they don't have the potential to rush anything into you, so they're just not gonna rush, which is pretty good for you. So it's a great combo, but yeah, you can definitely play around it. I'm not sure if the deck is gonna remain at the top after people get wiser to how the combo works, so I was actually skeptical about recommending the deck right now. Zulok seems to be doing also quite alright. But yeah, Control Warrior seems to be at the top right now, so definitely worth checking it out. Other new cards that are included in this list would be the new Sword Eater, which is quite the power creep. Like, honestly, what were they thinking? It's basically, we have a 4-mana card like that already, a 2/5 taunt, and a 3-mana weapon already like that, the 3/2 Fiery War Axe, so it's basically a 7-drop right now with 0 restrictions, you know, like, what is up with that? Super power creepy. And literally every warrior list should be running it, not to mention it's a freaking tribe, it's a freaking pirate. It's amazing. You can get it from, what's their name? 1-2's pirate creator guys. You can get them from those, and it's insane. It's another good pull from your Ankar as well, so all in all, must include in literally every single warrior deck. I don't know a warrior deck that should not be running this pirate right now. It's just that good. Other than that, not much else is new in this list so far. You have Rattlegore again, which is an insane minion, which I really hate how they are wording it. Setting its health to 1 doesn't make it on a next turn it doesn't die from the death rattle. It's kind of weird, but it is what it is. We've already asserted that. Other than that, the deck is looking pretty solid, pretty control-y, and you have quite a few bomb drops. You have Galakrond for extra reach as well. And again, the OTK is pretty disgusting if you manage to do it. You can do as much as even lethal. You can just OTK with it, I think. I haven't seen it in action that much. The most they did against me was 20 damage, but still pretty scary stuff. For the win rates, your bad matchup would be the new Clown Druid, which is not doing that amazing so far. Pure Paladin is not gonna be great for you. And Totem Shaman is not gonna be too great for you. Surprisingly, Soul Demon Hunter is a good matchup for you. I really didn't expect that, since as soon as you stop playing minions against them, they just can't do the OTK, but I guess there is a situation where you get short on damage, and there's that. If they just armor up a lot, sometimes your damage is not gonna be enough for them, but so far that has not been the case for me. And Totem Shaman could be a bad matchup for you as well if they curve out too good and if you don't get enough removals nice and early. Other than that, looks pretty green. Control Priest is gonna be a 50-50, a very torturing 50-50, I'm assuming. But with the OTK potential, you might, it's just crazy enough to work. For the mulligan, when you're going first, Ankar is always gonna be a keep. Evil Court Master is always gonna keep. Shield Slam can be a good keep for you as well. I would say those would be your 3 best bets. Shield Block could be an okay keep as well. It's 5 armor and card draw for 3 mana. You ain't doing much regardless with this deck in the early turns. The stats actually show that you should be keeping Rattlegore as well. I really don't feel great about keeping a 9-drop on turn 1, honestly, but that's what the stats show so far. From Diamond through Legend, it says Rattlegore is actually your 2nd best keep right after Ankar, even better than Evil Court Master. And it says Armor Smith is also a keep, which is also kind of weird, but if you're against some aggro-y decks, I can get behind that. Lord Barroth is also pretty good, so you can control the board early. And when you're going 2nd with the coin, it's kind of the same stuff, but you can also be keeping Galakrond, kind of weird. Bladestorm becomes a lot more appealing, Shield Block, Sword Eater, and even Bulwark. And even Brawl is not a bad keep, even better than Court Master, apparently. Should you be crafting this deck? I'm really not sure. Like I said, once people get wise to the OTK potential of it, they're just gonna stop playing that many minions against you, and if you can't rush, you're not gonna be OTKing as much. I mean, it's not the only win condition for the deck, but it's very substantial, so there's that. It is very expensive deck. It is exactly 12,000 dust, since you shouldn't be calculating Galakrond into this one, since it's free. But yeah, keep an open mind. I'm not too sure if it's gonna be strong for too long. Other good warrior decks out there would be Enraged Warrior is still doing pretty decently. Bomb Warrior is doing okay with a 55, almost 56% win rate. And even Managerial Warrior, which people thought it's gonna be amazing, it's really not amazing. It's okay. It's average, like 54% win rate with a very small sample size. The bigger sample size decks for Managerial Warrior are a lot worse. Just under 50% win rate for the most popular Managerial Warriors. Keep away from it, I'd say, unless you already have it or something. Unless you really want to play it, it's probably not going to be the most amazing thing you crafted. Pirate Warrior is also doing somewhat alright, but nowhere near as Enrage and Control so far. From the classes I didn't mention today, let's go through the best performing ones. For Druid, not that amazing, but Clown Druid is at the top, Spell Druid is at a close second, both with a very small sample size. Guardian Druid is still doing quite alright, but still just 52.7% win rate with a very big sample size. So yeah, those would be your free decks that you can go for as Druid. For Mage, the new Secret Mage is doing quite alright with above 55% win rate. No Minion Mage is doing okay-ish, about 53% win rate. And I did see Highlander Mage still, but I'm not too sure how good it is. Stats definitely don't support it so far. Elemental Mage is somewhat alright, just above 51.5%, so be careful with Mage. It's probably not gonna pay off too much. If you're gonna go for Mage, should be Secret and no Minion invest. For Priest, we have Control Priest as its best deck, and everything else is below 50% win rate, so be careful for now. According to the stats, it's not doing too amazing. For Rogue, we have not that bad of a sample size for quite a few decks. Secret Rogue seems to be doing very well, 60% win rate in a small sample size. Stealth Rogue is doing quite alright as well. And there is Aggro Rogue too. Those three would be your best bets. Galakrond Rogue is not doing as amazing anymore. Sadly, you guys know I'm pretty enjoying Galakrond Rogue back in the day. Right now it's not really hot so far. It's probably gonna make its way back in at some point, but not yet. For Warlock, Warlock's the last class we haven't talked about yet still. Zoolock is actually doing quite alright, above 60% on a small sample size. Yeah, Zoolock is doing quite alright overall. 58% win rate in 4,000 games is pretty decent. Galakrond Warlock is doing good with the new discard Picatus, whatever. And there is Control Warlock trying to make its way in the meta as well. But other than that, these three would be your best bets for Warlock. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed the video like this. Definitely turned out a lot longer. I did do my best to go into detail as much as I can off the top of my head, and with the stats in front of me, I think it did turn out a lot more natural sounding, but at the price of being a lot longer. That was something I was against right off the start when I started doing my YouTube videos. I was always more concerned in not wasting people's times with me going and... what the fuck are you doing, Cap? You literally... What the hell? I gotta rescue it. Like I said, I've always been a fan of short and sweet videos and not a lot of stuttering and stuff like that, but if it's more natural you want, people stutter. What can I do? Thanks again for watching, boys. Hope you enjoyed it. A like and subscribe would really mean a lot. But yeah, I'm Kris05, and I'll see you in my next video or stream.